Hong Kong has recorded its first case of the Wuhan coronavirus, and this is according to local media and has not been officially confirmed.
A news conference is ongoing to address this. Now you're looking at live pictures out of Hong Kong where health officials there are briefing the media. We'll be speaking to our correspondent Afifa Arifin later in the show for more details on this.
Now Macau also confirmed its first case today. Authorities say it's a female tourist from Wuhan. She did not initially show symptoms upon entry and spent the bulk of her time in casinos.
Meantime, Thailand reported its third and fourth patients today. They are a 73-year-old Thai woman who had traveled to Wuhan and a Chinese national. The first two Chinese patients have recovered.
The U.S., South Korea and Taiwan also have confirmed cases each. The Philippines and Australia each have one suspected case.
Countries across Asia have tightened screening measures to contain this outbreak as the Chinese New Year travel rush peaks. Now, the period has been described as the world's largest annual human migration.
Millions are expected to travel on more than 2,300 flights in and out of Wuhan this week. Places that have direct flights to the epicenter of the outbreak include Singapore, Tokyo, San Francisco, New York and Rome.
South Korea has ordered full preemptive quarantine measures against the Wuhan virus. North Korea has announced that it will temporarily close its borders to all foreign tourists as a precaution. And Taiwan is calling on China to reveal more details about the disease.
我要特别呼吁，也就是作为国际社群的一份子，希望中国能够善尽国际责任，让疫情公开透明，并且与台湾充分的共享正确的疫情资讯。这对中国人民本身也是有利的。那我们也相信，政治的考量不应该超越人民的保障。
The World Health Organization is meeting in Geneva in a few hours to assess whether the outbreak constitutes an international emergency. Its spokesman said more cases of the coronavirus would appear.
Chinese health officials warned that the new coronavirus could still mutate and spread. At a briefing held at the National Health Commission in Beijing, officials revealed there are now over 400 cases in the country, with the death toll climbing to 9. Olivia Song has more.
Millions of Chinese are traveling across the country in a bid to get home to celebrate the Chinese New Year. But a deadly pneumonia outbreak has cast a dark cloud over festivities. Chinese authorities say the travel rush increases the risk of the new coronavirus spreading. The number of cases has risen dramatically over the last few days, though authorities said the rapid change in figures is due to a better understanding of the disease, improved diagnostic methods, and optimizing the distribution of test kits.
疫情传播途径以呼吸道传播为主，病毒存在变异的可能，疫情存在着进一步扩大的风险。当前正值春运，人员流动性激增，客观上加大了疫情传播的风险和防控的难度，绝不能掉以轻心，要高度警惕。
Most of the pneumonia cases are linked to Wuhan, a city of 11 million, with the virus originating from a seafood market that illegally sold wild animals. Authorities said this may be the cause as the disease passed from animals to humans. Human-to-human transmission has also taken place. As authorities step up efforts to contain the disease, it has advised people not to travel to Wuhan unless necessary.
督促湖北省和武汉市 依法采取最严格的防控措施，加强农贸市场监管和野生动物管控，内防扩散，外防输出，劝导公众易散不易聚，最大程度减少公众聚集性活动，避免聚集性疫情发生。采取最严格的发热人员排查措施，发热人员实行医学观察，防止疫情进一步向外扩散。
Authorities have denied rumors that there are already super spreaders in the outbreak, saying there is no evidence for this yet. They also refuted a study done by Imperial College London, which suggested that about 2,000 people have been infected, far higher than the current statistics show. The latest coronavirus outbreak has sparked memories and conversations about the 2003 SARS outbreak. Back then, Chinese authorities had been accused of a cover-up and withholding information, and officials at the news conference were asked if this had happened again. Authorities said that China attached great importance to information disclosure, adding that the system of daily reporting is set to continue until there is no need for it. The Communist Party of China's Central Political and Legal Commission had said in a now-deleted post on WeChat that officials found to have covered up infections would be a sinner for eternity before the party and the people. Olivia Xiong, CNA, Beijing.
In China, the upcoming week-long national holiday is one of 3 so-called golden weeks every year. The heightened travel activity around Chinese New Year lasts for 40 days. Now, it began on the 10th of January this year, and China's Transport Ministry says that more than 750 million trips were made in the first 10 days of this year's Chinese New Year travel rush. And a good number of trips will go through the epicenter of the virus outbreak.
That's a lot of travel there, but Wuhan is one of the most important railway hubs in China. 4 high-speed railway services connecting cities in China run through the area. And this includes one of the busiest high-speed routes, which connects the capital, Beijing, and 7 other cities, including Hong Kong.
And Wuhan also serves as an interchange for regional liners linking 18 cities. The hub sees a ridership of more than 180 million passengers yearly, making it one of the largest transportation centers in China.
All in all, an estimated 440 million trips are expected to be made on the train network during the Chinese New Year period, when migrant workers and students travel to and from their hometowns.
Now, in recent years, though, a new trend has emerged. So parents and relatives are traveling to the bigger cities to meet the younger migrants instead of the other way around.
Well, cities such as Beijing, Shanghai and Guangzhou, they are some of the top destinations for this reverse travel trend. And aside from the hundreds of millions traveling within China, well, millions of Chinese will also be taking trips abroad. During the Golden Week break last year, 6.3 million Chinese traveled to destinations outside of mainland China. That's a figure that's projected to rise to 7 million this year.
And that forecast by the China Outbound Tourism Research Institute made before the Wuhan virus outbreak. So according to booking data from online travel agency Agoda, top destinations for Chinese tourists over last year's Chinese New Year period include Hong Kong, Tokyo, Bangkok and Singapore.
Well, here in Singapore, a ministerial task force will be formed to deal with the Wuhan virus. Health Minister Gan Kim-yong announced this today. It will be co-chaired by National Development Minister Lawrence Wong. This comes as Singapore has 10 suspect cases of the novel coronavirus, of which 7 have been ruled out and 3 are still being tested. Cheryl Goh with the details.
A task force involving different ministries has been set up to ensure that Singapore can respond effectively to the situation. Health Minister Gan Kim-yong and National Development Minister Lawrence Wong shared the details at a media briefing. Although the Health Ministry says the virus is not in Singapore yet, it is possible for an imported case to occur.
This is an important step forward in preparation for the eventuality that in case one of the cases occur in Singapore. So I think going forward we will be briefing the task force and getting the task force ready so that we can mount a whole of government approach to tackle this issue.
The task force will have their first meeting on Thursday, and Mr. Wong says he will help to coordinate across the various government agencies.
There are different ministries involved, including mine, MND. There may be financial implications, and that's where MOF will have to step in. So the processes and the intergovernment mechanisms are in place. We have contingency plans all drawn up and ready. But there is a matter of coordinating, getting all the agencies to work together to mount a united, effective response, and also to ensure that we have coordinated responses with members of the public.
Testing of suspected cases have been expanded to include people with pneumonia and who have traveled to all of China.
The coronavirus situation is evolving quite rapidly. As we know, China has reported increasing number of cases, and the cases have also expanded beyond just Wuhan city to other parts of China. And both China and World Health Organization have also reported and confirmed that it is possible for human-to-human transmission.
MOH says suspected cases are being tested twice, and so far to date, 7 have tested negative, while 3 are being tested. If the virus comes to Singapore, the Health Ministry will adopt 3 response measures, which are to isolate cases, conduct contact tracing, and quarantine close contacts of the confirmed case.
We have to be ready and prepared that we may get the possibility of imported cases. And when that happens, we have to do our very best to protect, contain it, and ensure that it doesn't spread within the community.
MOH has also issued a travel advisory to defer all non-essential travel to Wuhan, while those going to the rest of China should exercise caution and attention to personal hygiene.